Hi, my name is Rebecca and welcome to my channel. I have a fabulous, quick and easy, but totally delightful DIY for you to do for Valentine's Day. So come craft with me. I picked up these containers at the Dollar Tree and I'm assuming they were for like gift baskets and to put items in, candy, whatnot. And they had a little lip at the top so that you could open the containers. I took my wire cutters and since it was very thin plastic, I just carefully clipped away the little lip. And I'm going to use the Wool Ease yarn that I picked up at Michael's, and I took a piece of duct tape and I duct taped the end of the yarn to one half of the container. And then I just started winding my yarn around the little container. I went around horizontally and then I went around vertically, and I kind of just made sure that the yarn wasn't slipping anywhere and it was all nice and tight. And then I just wound it until there was no more red plastic showing. I did not do it neatly. I did it kind of rustic and helter-skelter, and I just made sure that I had a pleasing pattern, which ended up kind of being an X on the top, and then I just went around the center and I made sure that the whole container was covered up and you couldn't see any more plastic. Since I am only using one half of the container, I was able to get 8 little hearts out of this. When I got to the end, I just looped it underneath a bundle of the yarn and I tied it in a really tight knot. I'm going to use a jumbo craft heart that I picked up at the Dollar Tree, and I wanted kind of a little companion piece to these, but just a little bit bigger. And I thought maybe a dough bowl or a tray or something that these would be very nicely in. I ran a tiny bead of hot glue, and then I just started winding my yarn around this little craft heart, and I made sure that my lines were nice and even and parallel and none of the hot glue showed. So I just used a very tiny amount of hot glue. If you use a lot of hot glue in a lot of areas, then you're going to have some seams and you're going to be able to see your work. And so I just used a tiny amount on a low temp setting because I did not want to burn my little craft heart because it is styrofoam. And I just worked my way very slowly and carefully all around to the top of this little craft heart. This would be a good project to do while you were watching a movie or your favorite television show. I was watching football, and so when I got to the very top of the craft heart, I started kind of laying my yarn in a little bit differently and a little bit more carefully. I wanted it to look seamless and I wanted the lines to go this same way, so I just kind of started laying it in and then working toward the middle, the center of the craft heart, and working my yarn towards the top of the tops of the heart. And this just took a little bit more time and a little tiny bit more glue. I was, like I said, really careful about how much glue I put on and laid my yarn in very carefully, but I was wanting to fill up this top, and so I went ahead and got to a point where I felt like I could cut it, and then I just started filling in each top of the heart individually in a round motion. I had a little bit left on the bottom, and so I just went ahead and I filled that in just the same way as I was doing on the top, and making sure that the bottom looked seamlessly and filled in completely. I did the same thing on both sides of these until I had a very tiny area left, about the size of my yarn. And once I got the size of my yarn in there, then I just laid it in and I clipped it very, very close and kind of pressed it down into the hot glue so that it would look like the project had been created with one continuous piece of yarn. I had one tiny space at the very bottom. I had enough to just lay in one strand of the yarn, and then I clipped it off really close, and then all I did was just tie a bow, a very simple bow, vertically around the heart. I just wanted something simple and yet make a statement with it. So the simplicity of it just kind of got me all up in the feels, and I actually thought that it turned out absolutely gorgeous. I just kind of clipped my yarn strings off, and then I have one larger heart and I have 8 smaller hearts to display in my living room, where I wanted to keep everything very neutral but yet still have a touch of Valentine's Day feeling. I think that these would go with a lot of different decors, and I think that they are very elegant. Sometimes simple is absolutely breathtaking, and you do not have to be complicated or have a complicated DIY to turn out something absolutely gorgeous. And these will fit in a lot of different styles. So, and if you like neutrals, there you go. Or you could just add a splash of color and do this with color. It's entirely up to you. I'm only here for inspiration and to show you what I did. So don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell so that you know when I've uploaded my next video. Give me a thumbs up. I'm welcoming all my new subscribers, and I'm saying hi, y'all, because I really appreciate each and every one of you. I love it in the comment section when you do comment and let me know when you've tried something, or if you want to try something. That makes my heart happy. So thank you so much for watching Crafts, Laughs, and Chaos.